Welcome. Welcome to all you guys. This is going to be a partless setup for the Traxxas X-Maxx. This is going to be a partless rundown of primarily why initially I bought this RC, all the upgrades that I have for the RC, and things that we're going to be doing in the coming year. So I'm just going to wait for people to jump in. Hopefully you guys hit the notification button. You're able to do a lot of Q&A when I do these type of sessions. And we'll start off in a few. Alrighty, so I'm going to be beginning the session in the next, I'll say the next minute, and then we'll just go with the rundown with the Traxxas X-Maxx, what I have done, what I'm about to do, and hopefully you guys get a little bit informed of primarily what this RC has done, and what I've done with the RC, and what upgrades I'm going to be doing. Play a C, what's going on, my friend? Play C, not play a C, play C. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start this segment off pretty quickly. Just to give you a rundown of primarily all the upgrades that I've done with the Traxxas X-Maxx, a little bit of history, and we'll work on it from that point on. Alrighty, so as of right now, this is the Traxxas X-Maxx 8S. A little bit of history. When I did buy this RC was the Traxxas X-Maxx 6S, and I did a conversion kit with that and started doing a little bit of upgrades when I got the conversion kit. So I had this RC day one when it was released by Traxxas. The hobby shop that was able to release it to me was Willis Hobbies in New York City, Long Island, New York. Excellent hobby shop. You guys were able to see an unboxing video with this Traxxas X-Maxx 6S. So when the 6S came out, I ended up utilizing a 6S system with the Traxxas batteries and stuff like that, and it was a cool RC when it firstly was unveiled. That Traxxas ended up putting up a 1/6 scale. This would be considered 1/6 scale RC on the market. Now, throughout the history of the Traxxas X-Maxx 6S, there were a little bit of complications. They had issues with a fuse on the ESC, and also they had an issue with the ESC itself where it needed to be programmed a little bit differently. A lot of people were having fires with their Traxxas 6S, but Traxxas was able to tweak out a few things, and their warranty processes on the ESC were pretty quick. They were able to determine a few issues that the ESC was having, and that was initially repaired on that point. So a few months later, Traxxas came out with the Traxxas 8S conversion kit. What the 8S conversion kit gave you was thicker dog bones. The transmission internally within the Traxxas X-Maxx was hardened as well. And also the gears were hardened. They got rid of the slipper clutch, and they ended up adding a fan to that. Um, Once they did that, you were able to add that thing on, and then also you were able to acquire the Traxxas Bluetooth charger and also the 8S pack. Fast forward, the Traxxas 6S was running on a 1717 motor, just like the Traxxas X01. So primarily, what happened a few months later after they released the kits, they ended up unveiling their new Traxxas X-Maxx 8S. The differences between this and the Traxxas X-Maxx 8S, which later on we were able to find out that a lot of things on the upgrade kits that were said weren't delivered on the RC. So primarily on the new Traxxas 8S system, this is what the 6S was lacking. The body was changed. The rear of the body was reinforced with a plastic piece on the back, and also the tire composite were different to accommodate an 8S system. Also, the motor was different. The motor that they ended up giving you was a 1275 kV motor, which can handle, on temperature wise, a better setup than the 6S initially gave you. Traxxas did not advise a lot of their customers that they were doing that. They kind of said that the conversion kit would have taken care of all that, but it is what it is. I ended up going with the conversion kit. Supposedly it's a little bit faster, but the temperatures are a little bit hotter on that aspect. I have done upgrades since I bought the 6S, now 8S system. But I'll go over a few things and I'll work my way down. That's just a little bit of history on the Traxxas X-Maxx. And I'll go over a quick little feature that the controller now has. Traxxas ended up putting a mount for the TQI controller. So when I'm able to look at this, now I'm able to hold my phone and see all the things that, right on the fly. As before, either you held onto your phone, or back in the days when they had the either you had a 3S or a 4S, you clicked it in there, but they ended up changing out that feature on from the iPhones, and then you were not able to utilize that, which was kind of sad. But I kind of thought that feature was a cool feature to have when they initially invented it. But they ended up unveiling a mount. I'll put a link on the description below where to get the mount from. It is from Traxxas. This, in actuality, is a 6S Plus, and it fits it and it accommodates it really, really nicely on that type of setup. So this is the TQI controller, which is pretty cool, and I ended up adapting the Bluetooth, which is right there, the Traxxas Link Bluetooth, which is already adapted into my system as of right now. So let's talk about upgrades. So as you can see, my Traxxas X-Maxx is like a sunfire orange type yellow paint job that I did. This is the Traxxas prographix body. I do have the Proline Raptor body as well. That's more of a showpiece, but this is what I'm riding right now. I also have the blue body that I have out there at this moment. Another things that I've done with the body itself, I ended up getting reinforcement tabs. I forgot the official name for them, but a company called Murat RC. That's MURAT-RC. You're able to pick that up, and I'm gonna go over that company as well. A pretty cool company that I'm affiliated with. They ended up giving me the body mounts, which is definitely a cool thing to acquire for a very inexpensive price. Now let's go into the out parts of the Traxxas X-Maxx. These are the Proline Badlands Beadlocks. These are excellent, excellent, excellent rims and tires. The only downfall of that is that if it does get wet, the screws all rust out. I don't know if you're able to notice that on the camera right now, but they are rusted out. I have to go with a stainless steel. The whole RC is stainless steel other than the rims, so that has to be changed out very soon. If you're looking at the outskirts of it, I do have double LEDs in the front, and I have an LED in the rear, also from the same company, Murat RC, MURAT-RC. Cool company to go with. Best LED kit you can get for the RC as of right now. So definitely something that you would definitely recommend from me for you to get for your Traxxas X-Maxx. Another excellent company that's out there is T-Bone Racing. T-Bone Racing, I've been dealing with T-Bone Racing for the last 6 years, and they do a lot of high quality stuff. The plastic that they utilize is of a plastic nylon, which is definitely almost indestructible when you're bashing around with it. I do have the front bumper. I do have the arms for the front and rear to protect the arms as well. And also I do have underneath, if I'm able to pick up this beast, this is going to be a little bit more of a difficult presentation for me to show you guys. Underneath, right there, you're going to notice I have the chassis protector. RC Eruptions, what's going on? I do have the chassis protector. Definitely cool things with that. The only downside, once again, I do have an issue with stuff rusting out. As you can see over here, it's stainless steel, but on the arms, I don't know if you can see on the camera, I'll put it right here. You're gonna notice it has like a brown orange tin. I do have to change out all the screws for this. I did have the wheelie bar from T-Bone Racing, but I opted to go with the upgraded wheelie bar from Traxxas. Just leave it on there. But the arm protectors are phenomenal. I've bashed around with this many of times, and it's been almost indestructible. So let me try to let me flip you around for you guys to get a rear view of this RC. All right. So now we're gonna come with the rear of the RC. There's the wheelie bar, which is a cool thing to have with that. And I'm going to crack open the lid. And you guys already know, there's already a body that I painted. As you guys can see, it's silver on the inside and kind of like a sun-kissed color on the outside, which I think is a pretty cool setup. Now, on the rear of this, once again, you're gonna be able to see the Morat LEDs that come up underneath. Definitely cool when you're driving the X-Maxx at nighttime. You're able to see these highlight in red, which is definitely a cool thing for you to have once you're driving this RC at nighttime. This RC is very expensive, so you do want to be having the availability to see your car at night. So this is the rear, and I just showed you the double front. You are able to go to Morat dash RC on eBay, and he's pretty quick in sending these parts out to you ASAP. Alrighty, so now let's go into the internal workings of the RC. And a lot of guys who have checked out my channel have been seeing me doing a lot of upgrades with the Traxxas X-Maxx. So I'm gonna go with a company that I believe in, and let's see if you can get this on camera. I think I have to lift this up a little bit more. Hold on. Hold on one second, because this is a big RC to even do presentations on. So bear with me 1 second, and hopefully, there we go. Get that a little higher for you guys to visually see a few things. All right. So now, let me see if I can see that on camera. All right. So Dusty Motors Shroud. I did a pretty big video of me doing the installation of the Dusty Motor Shroud, but the video that I did, I was able to showcase all the snow that was packed in to the Traxxas X-Maxx, which made it extremely heavy. Now the system on this Traxxas X-Maxx is a water resistant system, but the thing is that the weight that this thing acquired once I was doing my runs with this in the snow, it was just astronomical. It must have added at least 10 pounds more to the RC, or maybe even more, which definitely gives a lot of strain to the drivetrain of this RC. And when I was waiting for Dusty Motors to have this Shroud available, when they had it immediately, I acquired it. That's when this was a 6S. And I had a little bit of concerns of when I did have this Shroud, what it's going to be like when I have the 8S system in there and putting those batteries in. With the zipper that comes on the side, I had no issues with it. So definitely check them out. Dusty Motors at dustymotors.com. They have universal sizes, and also they have the Traxxas X-Maxx size, which fits this perfectly, which is definitely a cool thing. One of the first upgrades that I did on the Traxxas X-Maxx was my shock covers. You guys know that I've been infamous for utilizing shock covers for many years. The shock covers that I have in place right now are from a company called Full Force RC. Definitely cool company. There's a lot of updates and upgrades that they have for the Traxxas X-Maxx, as in bearings, shock covers, and a few other items that you could do with this truck. and all the other RCs, other RC upgrades that you can utilize. One of the first skis that I got from that company were for my Bandit, my first Bandit, and it was definitely a cool setup to have that once I had, I've known this company for a while now. So definitely cool thing. Now I'm gonna take apart the shroud for you guys to see the internal workings of the Traxxas X-Maxx. Ooh, and your boy did a boo boo here. Your boy actually had the batteries connected, which never ever do. Okay, you're disconnected there. You're disconnected there. All right. Take off the shroud. A few things are popping down, as you can see, twigs and stuff like that. So, anyway, let's talk about the inner workings of the Traxxas X-Maxx. I'm going to work from the right and work my way left because there are a few upgrades that I've done on this since I've acquired it. And we'll talk about a few things that I have on it, which I'm very impressed with. All right, so let's start from the top. I ended up wanting to get the Telemetry Expander. What the Telemetry Expander did for me is that I wanted to put a GPS on the Traxxas X-Maxx. So I ended up throwing the GPS in there. I'm able to see my miles per hour accurately on my Traxxas link on my iPhone, which, as you can see, as I presented that before, you're able to do that. It's not a telemetry system. It is an actual GPS. Definitely cool thing. Mounts perfectly over here. I'm able to put the shroud over there. Definitely cool thing to have. Now, as you can see, stainless steel screws all over the place. Definitely cool thing to get for your RC. You don't want to see too much rust because it's hellacious on your tools, and also you can strip out a few things once everything starts rusting out. Ended up throwing a little bit of a wire mesh to match up yellow and orange to match up with the body scheme and also to match up with the shock covers. I think that was a cool touch that I did on there. The batteries that I'm utilizing are the Traxxas 4S batteries. I ended up buying the kit with gives me the charger. I believe it was $300 at the time. I received that as a gift, which was definitely one of the first and only gifts I ever got for my hobby, and that was kind of forced for me to get something like that. I believe it was for Christmas and stuff like that. So I kind of pushed the envelope for me to get that as a Christmas gift, and to me, I was very happy to have gotten that as a Christmas gift. That was something that I would have hoped to have gotten a long time ago, me knowing I love the hobby and everything like that. Something towards my hobby, and I actually finally got something towards the hobby, which was definitely a cool surprise for me because, I was kind of hinting that I wanted it, and, it came to fruition. So, many special thanks that I did get that gift finally after like a decade. Anyway, fast forward. As you can see, the upgraded fan, the Valenian fan, this is a Valenian 8S system, which is a cool thing. I haven't had any issues as of late, but I ended up losing reverse. So I'm having to contact Traxxas to see what initially is transpiring with my RC at this point. Next thing that I have for the RC that's integrated, which you are not going to see, and I did a few videos about this. My front and rear diffs are not from the upgraded kit. The front and rear diffs that I have are the spiral cut diffs from Traxxas. I have yet, knock on wood, I have yet to break the spiral cut diff. I still have the upgraded diffs that they gave me for the 8S upgrade setup, but I ended up getting those spiral diffs, and I've had no issues for the reason that I also got aluminum cups. The aluminum cups that I got for the front and rear are from Hot Racing. I did a whole cool video of how to upgrade that, the diff oil and everything like that. That was definitely a cool upgrade. That was something that needed to be done for the Traxxas X-Maxx, in my opinion, because I know a lot of people have had diffs break. I have yet to have a diff break, and I've done many, many, many backflips with this RC as well. What else can I talk about this? Or you know what? I'm gonna see what's initially happening within the room. A lot of people have been joining up. Hold on. Let me lay you down. It's so heavy. Okay. Let's talk about a few things. All right. I see eruptions. Leon, what's going on? Lewis LPRC, what's up? Always up, always. What's going on, Lewis LP? Dude, I have so many upgrades for my X-Maxx that I have to put on yet. I'll talk about this stuff. I've been busy upgrading my Vortex 2.0. Uh, uh, always up, always up, always. They're too expensive. What orders to do? Um, what other to do recommendations? $300. Went to the XLX 2080 on my X-Maxx, which um, Mega Megasty. Did I say that right? 15? 50 feet, 50 gear speed, which is cool. Stefan Par, does it get over bumps and stuff better than the T-bone skid better with the T-bone skid plate? I haven't had any issues. The ground clearance on this is pretty awesome. So I haven't. I mean, I really don't even have any really deep scratches. Everything is taken. All the major bumps are taken from the front bumper. Even on the front skid of the bumper, it takes most of the impacts and stuff like that. So no issues there. But like I said, there's a few things that I had to do and upgrading and stuff like that. I had to clean out my drive shafts that are rusting again because I ended up taking it into water and stuff like that. A lot of things are rusting out on this, which is very annoying. You do have to maintain your drive shafts because they will start rusting. I'm learning more and more about having that with the Traxxas X-Maxx. I do like having fun playing with it in the snow, but with the pros, come the cons, and you start seeing rust on the rear, on the rims and everything like that, which I don't like. Alrighty, so what are my thoughts about the Traxxas X-Maxx? I think it's one of the best RCs Traxxas has ever made. I think their marketing on this X-Maxx was very good. I think they ended up with a lot of hiccups when the Traxxas X-Maxx was first released on the 6S version, and also conversion kit I think was pretty bad, and that's my personal opinion, because they left a lot of people in the dark of what they were doing, and what was promised and what was delivered. So that was a bad scenario on that part. But by far, when the X-Maxx 8S was released, they were able to get rid of a lot of the hiccups that they had on the Traxxas X-Maxx, and all around made it an excellent, excellent, excellent RC. This is one RC, if you are able to afford it, buy it. I mean, I can't speak more highly enough about an RC than what Traxxas has done. I have a few friends that have the Traxxas X-Maxx. I have my man Chris, Everyday RC. Around the same time I got my X-Maxx, he was hunting around to get his X-Maxx, and it was definitely cool when we ended up getting it at the same time and stuff like that. He had a few issues, with all of us, having the 6S version, and then we did the conversion kit to do the upgrade. So primarily ours are faster than the initial X Maxes that are out there, 8S version, but the conversion kit made this faster. Now you have guys out there that are throwing 1/5 scale, like I was reading one of the comments, 1/5 scale ESC 1/5 scale motor, which is excellent. A lot of people have had a lot of problems doing that because of the way they geared it out, and a lot of fires have happened. A few companies that are out there that pretty much give you the formula. Kershaw Designs, definitely cool company. KershawDesigns.com, I believe it is. Definitely check them out for a lot of RC insane speed type setup. But what are my final thoughts, and what am I going to be doing upgrades on? I'm going to leave the cover off right now so I can come and show you a few of the updates that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks. Not a couple of days, couple of weeks, not a couple of months, couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing updates and upgrades for this. Upgrade number one, I am going to go with the another set of Proline tires, and I'm going to go with the paddle tires from Proline. Other upgrades that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to buy another set of batteries for that because it's a little bit annoying just charging up a set, then done playing, and then I need to buy another set of batteries. Proline, another thing I'm going to get from Proline. You guys are going to see the brand new body that I'm going to unveil very soon. I am going to get the Proline piggyback shocks that are going to be installed over here. I'm also going to go with the springs that I'm going to be getting from Proline as well. And it's going to be dual rated springs, which you've seen my RCs have many a times. And this is going to be the dual rate springs for my Traxxas X-Maxx. Other things that I plan to acquire for the Traxxas X-Maxx in the near future, I'm probably going to be doing another LED kit. Once again, a company called Morat Racing. They have a mount that's going to be locked into over here, where it's going to be giving me rear LEDs for the body itself. I'm going to have four bodies in total for the Traxxas X-Maxx, which is going to be happening very soon. Other things that I plan to do with the system itself, I have to check on my ESC. Probably I need to get it repaired. I've been having issues with it. Probably I need to get the batteries exchanged from Traxxas because they are ballooning a little bit. But their customer support is by far one of the best ones I've seen out there. Me being in the hobby for 6 years right now, their customer support with me has been excellent because they, whenever I have an issue, I don't come across and contact them and say, hey, you know what, I'm Geo Stuffar One from YouTube. They know how I represent the product. A lot of people that work at the Traxxas Corporation do know about my channel. Some of them were a little bit annoyed when I put them on blast because of what initially transpired with the kit upgrade, but they know I hold Traxxas in a higher light than a lot of other YouTubers that are out there that love it or hate the company. The company does innovate a lot of cool products, and they're always reinventing themselves. Sometimes it's a home run out of the box, and sometimes it's kind of like a hit or miss. I mean, they ended up doing a development stage of Latrax, which was a separate company, but still the same company from Traxxas. And I have almost all the Latrax vehicles that are out there, which I think is pretty cool. Still hobby grade RCs at a smaller level, at a smaller price point. But other things that I plan to get for the RC, I plan to get the diff covers in aluminum. Not too sure what company I'm going to go with. But that being said, I'm leaning more towards Integy because I want to get more orange parts. Integy is doing bullet aluminum right now. So definitely check out their parts over there. They have a whole bunch of colors. I know a lot of people swear by Hot Racing, but Hot Racing doesn't have too many colors, just like as much as Integy does. So I like to uniform everything. So my shocks are gonna probably most likely be orange and more orange on this RC. I'm not gonna get the arms and the carriers orange, but there's gonna be a lot of components, like a lot of the steering that's going to be orange. Traxxas also developed the 2085X, which gives it the metal gears for the steering servo. I think they should have did that when the car was released, having metal gears, having a 1/6 scale vehicle. But that being said, from what I understand, they are warranting the 2085s as opposed to 2085Xs. I ended up going with Hot Racing to give me the gears for my servo. So at this point, I don't have any issues because I already have metal gears in my 2085 servo as of right now. The steering I'm going to be changing out. It's going to be all orange, and it's most likely going to be Integy. I'm going to get aluminum over here and whatever else I can throw onto this to give it a more custom feel. What are my final thoughts of the Traxxas X-Maxx? So as you were just listening, I did have a few thoughts of conceptually of where they were going with the Traxxas X-Maxx when they initially had it out there. And I had a few thoughts about where they're going to go, what they're going to be doing, and what's primarily has transpired since the release of the Traxxas X-Maxx. Well, here's what my thoughts are of the Traxxas X-Maxx. So this is one of the biggest, baddest RCs to get out there, period. When the R&D and everything and the engineers developed this RC, they went in there saying, you know what, we are a huge company. We are able to create something this big for a lot of the hobbyists that are out there. Uh, people who are not a fan of Traxxas are a fan of this RC, which says a lot, in the RC community, because a lot of people are, Tamiya fans or HPI fans loyal, Armor fans that are loyal, Axial, I think I said HPI, Team Associated, a lot of big hitter companies, but and Losi, and it can't be denied that this is one of the best bash vehicles, even for its size, speed, handling. I mean, it has the TSM system in there. I mean, it's just an all around great RC to own in your collection. Um, at the price point that it is right now, it was lower before. It did recently. It recently got higher as of late, but definitely worth every money, every penny. As of right now, I think it's like 900 something dollars to get the Traxxas X-Maxx 8S edition. They did come out with a new body and a new scheme, which was pretty cool for Traxxas to release that. I'm not too sure if it's released yet, but there were a little bit of rumblings that you saw if you're on their Instagram account at Traxxas, hashtag Traxxas. You'll be able to see the brand new body that they have on there. If you're able to afford it, you right off the bat, you are going to be spending anywhere between $1,200 and $1,300, and that's without the upgrades. That's just getting a charger, the two batteries, and the truck. You're gonna have the controller with the TSM and all the electronics that are in there, but you're gonna need batteries and you're going to need a charger for that. There are specific batteries that hold for the Traxxas X-Maxx. The two that I know is the Traxxas 4S, and Max Amps also does have their batteries as well. So that those are two different companies that you could check out. Counterpart of mine, Chris from Everyday RC, he loves Max Amps and he swears by them. So that definitely something to look into once you start getting the type of batteries that you want to do. Um, Last but not least, on the upgrades, there are going to be a lot of upgrades that will be done for the X Max. This is one of the top five RCs in my arsenal that I love the most. So definitely, I have to change out stainless steel stuff, and there's a lot more things that I have to do with it for it to give more and more of a custom feel. So stay tuned for those type of videos. I'm going to be doing a lot of updates and upgrades and stuff like that. Um, and I'm just going to go one last time to the Q&A over there and see what's going on. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you killed your spiral gears, Mr. Mega. Did you have the diff cup? I'm just curious. The aluminum diff cup. Lewis LPRCs. I'm running the Max Amps batteries on my X Max. A lot of people swear by the Max Amps. I just like the way the Bluetooth setup is on the Traxxas version. So when I do, let's see if I can get this going. Dun. So when I do this on the Easy Peak, I'm able to, as you can see, here's my charger, and that's where it says GeoStealth R1 is disconnected right now because it's unplugged. But it does give me all the stats that I have, everything about, what I need and everything like that. So I think that's a pretty cool feature to do on there. Let's go back to the Q&A. Mega. I use Turnigy LIHV 4S 5000 milliamps. Hard case, so big battery, but it fits. Oh, that's good information for people to know. The XLX can drain them in 10 minutes, full throttle running. I'm just curious if you were able to throw different capacitors on there. That would be definitely cool for the people in the audience to find out. Lewis LP, I have that servo. I'm waiting for the stock servo to fail so I can install the new one. Oh, you might be waiting a while. Geo, go with outerwear shock covers. Possibly. I like the outerwears. Outerwears has been out for years. Nick, what's going on? Adam, hire RC hunting. Love the series you're doing. Oh, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Nick, I like the Gen Ace more. A lot of people like the Gen Ace. Mega. Yeah, I have the aluminum cups on everything, and you still rip them. Depending on what type of diff oil that you utilize. Check out my video. You'll be able to see when I did the upgrades on on my Traxxas X-Maxx, the type of diff oil that I utilize. Hold on, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit for you guys to get a better visual on that. So, yeah, I'll put you a little closer for you guys to see it. So, yeah, so primarily, if you do own the X-Maxx, you know it's a pretty cool basher. A lot of people are trying to do speed runs. A lot of people are just bashing them in skate parks or bashing them wherever they're at. So as long as you're bashing it, you're good to go. Always have a show body, always have a run body, because a lot of people like to see the X-Maxx and stuff like that, and they see a beat up body, and I'm like, oh my god, you beat the crap out of that thing. But it's always cool to put it on your shelf when you have the show body and be like, oh yeah, that's my RC. So, like I said, there are going to be a lot of upgrades and updates that are going to be happening to the Traxxas X-Maxx in the very near future because I've already placed an order. So you're looking at something that's going to be happening within the next week or two, with the Traxxas X-Maxx, and I'm going to, definitely get this rust, and I have to clean everything out just to have this thing up to par. So hopefully, once I do that, it will be an exceptional RC, and you will not be seeing this body. You will be seeing a different type of body and a different type of setup. So, that being said, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. In the description below, you're going to see all the parts that are in the Traxxas X-Maxx and where you can get all the parts that I have on my X-Maxx. And that's pretty much it. Can you say what's coming for the RC? There's going to be a lot of things, a lot of Integy parts that are going to be installed into this. A lot of Integy parts, bullet aluminum that they're doing on there. That's why I'm going to go with it very, very soon. And once I'm able to do that, then we're going to see a lot more customizable things that I'm going to have on the Traxxas X-Maxx. I'm going to go with the paddle tires from Proline, like I said beforehand. So a lot of things are going to be happening very soon with the X-Maxx. I'm changing out the bumpers. I already changed out the rear one. I'm going to change the front run just because of the visual and stuff like that. I'm anal, when it comes down to that. Do I like the Badlands? I think the Badlands are much better than the stock Traxxas tires. They grip a lot better, on there. It does give it a little bit of weight, but I was able to do a backflip with the Badlands on there. I'm waiting for Proline to make, not Badlands, but maybe trenchers. I just like the way the rubber, not only the rubber compound, just the way the tire is set up, on the RC. So, can you paint the white beadlock? Well, technically it's gray, but I would have to dye it. Has Integy become any better? Integy has become a little bit better because back in the days, they were utilizing liquid aluminum and let it harden, and it would just bend so easily. Now they are selling bullet aluminum, which they take a block of aluminum and then they start cutting it from there, which is a little bit stronger and stuff like that. But even companies like Hot Racing, I mean, if you like the Hot Racing products, Integy right now is going to be the same exact thing. But they're pretty much on back order with a lot of things that they have right now. Always up, always. What is the difference between the Max 5 ESC and the Max 6? I think it's the amperage, from what I understand. Proline has a sand pause, 4.3 snow. Yeah, that's what's coming into here very soon. Yes, see, there goes the amperage on there. I have a video on dyeing your rims on the X-Maxx. I think I saw the video with you dyeing everything red. Yes, everything red. Blood. Mr. Nobody, what batteries you use? Thinking about getting Max Amps 4S. Yes, I did. I did. Definitely cool thing on there. Yeah, that is a big difference. That's like taking a Mamba Monster X, which has higher amperage than the Sidewinder 8, Castle Creation. So definitely a big difference because it's more punch to the RC itself. So, you're dumping more amperage into the motor, which, continuously turns and stuff like that. So you want to dump as much power as you can, when you're doing something like that. So, last but not least, you guys are going to be checking out a lot of update videos and stuff like that. I'm doing a series where I'm going to go over each and every one of my part lists. And now, mind you, I'm saying all these part lists off the top of my head. Realistically speaking, if I wanted to look at the part list that I have here, hold on one second. I'm going to get out of this. And here is, hopefully it opens up very soon. Dun, 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 dun. And these are the part lists that I go with. So if I'm looking for the X-Maxx, Look at all the parts that I've gotten throughout with each and every one of my RCs. Slash two drive, bandits, Stampede 4x4, Rally Drift Car, E-Revo 116 scale, X-Maxx. So this is the X-Maxx. These are all the part lists that you're going to see in the description below that I ended up putting on there. You're going to be able to see everything that's on the RC, and pretty much you decide yourself of what's something cool that you would want on the RC. So that being said, hopefully you like the segment of me showcasing the Traxxas X-Maxx. If you like the content that I'm doing on these live chats with you, definitely give me a thumbs up. It does help out the channel. It does circulate it more for people to just to check out, the things that I've done with the RC and customizing it, and things that you can do, which will assist you. So that's primarily it. What I'm looking to do in the near future. If you do want to ask me a question, go to geostealthr1 at yahoo.com. Hashtag geostealthr1 for my Instagram and Twitter account, geostealthr1. Google Plus, if you want to see different type of pictures that I show up there, and Instagram, those are going to be the two stations that I'm going to start showing pictures that are initially not going to be YouTube recordings. They're just going to be out of nowhere pictures of where I'm here, there, doing whatever I'm doing and stuff like that. So hopefully that keeps you informed of what's initially transpiring with the YouTube channel and everything like that. So my last thing to say to you is, if you have the money, definitely go get yourself an X-Maxx. Definitely worth the money for you to check that out, and yeah, acquire it as soon as you can. I believe the brand new body, people are already back ordering it because they want it pretty bad. So people are already just buying it off